Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. Yes, I can't get that word out myself today. And today's Tuesday and that's a tutorial Tuesday. So if you saw the haul video yesterday, I said I was going to select some. So I've decided from the haul video yesterday I'm going to use the KSCRAFT layered slimline dies. It does have a word with it which says friend. I'm not going to be using that one. Instead, I'm going to be using one from this KSCRAFT set, and I believe it says awesome. I'm hoping it does because I want to use it. And then from KLJUYP, I'm going to be using this slimline layer set, which is the curtains. And I also want to cut this one because it's huge and I just want to see what it looks like. And if it was laid flat, if you're somebody that's into making those huge flowers for wedding or birthday decorations, these would make fabulous big stamens to go in the middle. Wouldn't that look awesome? So I want to cut that just to see what it looks like. And I'm also going to be using some black cardstock. I'm going dark today, and I'm using a couple of sheets from an old Graphic 45 8x8 pack, and this is Les Cirque, it says it up there, and I'm going to be using an element from here trying to get this piece in because of course it's already got a curtain, so I thought that would be quite nice and it's time to use it. That's what the reverse looks like. And because the sort of like paisley style flowers tie in with this, I'm going to be using either this side for the curtains or that side for the curtains. I haven't decided yet, but as I say, I'm on a mission to use up all of my old papers. This is from 2011, so it's only 9 years old. Now, one of the things you need to know about slimline dies is you need larger than 8x8 pads. You can see that. And the layering piece that I'm using is smaller than the largest of these KSCRAFT layering dies, as you can see there. But if it hadn't got that scalloped border, I still wouldn't be able to use an 8x8 sheet because the scalloped edge there is going to allow me to sort of like position the image that I want and cut it out. If it didn't have this scalloped edge, you would have to go to 12x12 pads in order to get a full image out. So just something for you to bear in mind with slimline dies is that 8x8 isn't going to do it unless you've got a border on the inside. But I'm sure if you get the dies, you'll be measuring the cardstocks for yourself. But on regular cardstock, if it's just plain paper that you want to use, then it's, you know, it's absolutely fine. You're going to cut it out. You're not going to get my tongue twisted. You're not going to get it absolutely perfect that way around. There's still a fraction under, but from the length of it, you will get a die cut. Right, what else am I going to use today? I'm going to be using some sticky foam pads if I need them. All of this from Dollar Tree, some foam tape if I need it, and adhesive tape if I need it, and also my Dollar Tree glue. So all of this is from Dollar Tree. I've also got a pair of scissors here. Yes, I found them again. And I've got my ruler so that hopefully I can finish by measuring everything. Right, so I'm just going to go off and die cut my bits of paper and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I've cut out so far. I used the largest of the layering slimline dies, cut that in black cardstock. I've cut the frame section from the KLJUYP. I'm keeping it yellow. A lot of people, I don't know, they seem to be spooked by circus and clown stuff, so I think it's always best to err on caution and keep it bright. Now you see it's got a stitched fold line there which will need to be folded, and I've trimmed my cardstock to fit within that area, I hope, so that it can be folded over. It could of course then slide in and out if you wanted it to, like a huge tag or something, but I'm just going to fix mine in there. So that's going to go onto there like that. I've cut my curtain valance, which will go up there because of course that top bit's going to be folded down. And then I've got my 2 sets of curtains which will go underneath the valance, and I've also cut my tie backs which will go onto here. And I fussy cut the lasserk because I'm not sure whether I'm going to kind of like use it up there or not. I probably will put it up there actually. So now I'm just going to put some sticky back tape onto the back of everything, which, as you know, can take a few minutes. So I'll do that and we'll come back and assemble it. Okay, so I've applied tape along here and folded it on that stitch line. I'm hoping that you can see. It's quite bright here this morning. My camera's a little bit blurred, but I have scored that so that it will hopefully fit this inside of it, and I can, whoops, stick it down. Or fingers and thumbs. Right, pop that back up there. And that should just slot inside like that, and I can stick those bits over, and that is what you should be left with. So I'm going to do that, and I've also used my Dollar Tree foam tape for the curtain valance, and I've used tape at the tops to stick it down, and I used some of my Dollar Tree glue just to put the tie backs onto the curtains there. So being all fingers and thumbs, I'm going to position this where I think it's central, and I'm going to take the tape off and I'm going to stick that down there. Right, that's held in position. And now I'm going to do the same on this side. Whoops, that didn't work so well. Pulling the paper up with the tape. Let's put that piece back. Isn't it quite how when you do stuff on camera it starts going wrong? There we go. That's flat down now. Make sure I've got no bulk underneath it. And just stick that. Yep, that's what we've got. I know you're supposed to use a bone tool, and I have got one somewhere. In fact, I've got several because I've got the We Are Memory Keepers punch boards, but for some bizarre reason I'm always using my fingers. Now you can see that you've got some lift on there, and it's a very narrow scallop, so what I would suggest is to take needle tip glue, whichever glue you're using, mine is Dollar Tree, and go up under that edge to fasten it down. So I'm just going along there, putting down a thin line of glue, and I'm going to rub my finger along it. It will take a couple of seconds to grab a hold and stick it down. And I'm also going to do that on the other side, and once it's taken a hold I'll be straight back. So the glue has stuck this down nice and flat. Let's see if we can get a close-up. There we go. I think that's clear. And you can see that that border has been glued down nice and flat. Now on the reverse I've got some Dollar Tree foam because I want to give it some dimension on this background. And you can see there's quite a bit of space there. so that I can get all of my curtains and my curtain volants on. So in my usual fashion, I'm going to stand up because I really do want to get this in the middle. I mean, to be honest with you, this is the kind of thing that I would have in my craft room on my own shelf. This is really my kind of taste. I do like the very, very old Graphic 45, and I think my oldest pad is it Alice in Halloween Land or something like that? And it's kind of like a horror story of Alice in Wonderland, but it's great paper. Right, I've removed all of that. I have to touch it with my fingers to check because I never quite convinced myself that I've done it. Right, now then, I need to get this in the centre, and I want to get it straight. And that isn't straight, is it? Let's push that down there. I think that is straight. If it's not, once again, you're going to have to forgive me. I'm going to hold it up towards myself. No, it's completely out. I really do need to get myself a camera that doesn't have to sit in front of my face. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to correct that by using the volants. Probably not. No, it's still going to sort of like show an odd border. Right, I'm going off camera. I'm going to try and repair this because I did a really bad job. In fact, no, I'm not going to do it off camera. I'm going to show you. When you have a disaster, get a pair of scissors. This is only if you've used foam tape, and go right behind up to the foam tape and cut out what you've done. Can you see that? You're still going to be left with something that's nice to put back down onto cardstock. So I'm just going to clip all of this out, and I'm going to have to cut another background, which is better than losing all of the work you've done previously. See, I'm back down to that, but at least it feels nice and sturdy. Right, I'm going to go and cut a new background. Okay, so I've just cut myself a nice new background, and what's good about this is I can now go in with my Dollar Tree glue. So I'm just going to squidge it. I'm going to give myself a border so that nothing is oozing out, and I only used like a thin bit, thin strip, squiggle, whichever one you want to call it, and that is going to stick me where I want to be stuck. So get it the right way around. Try to do it central this time, and of course it's Dollar Tree glue, so I'm going to be able to waggle it around if I make a mistake. Right, so I'm standing up and I'm looking at it this time, and I think that's straight. I'm just going to hold it up towards myself and have a look. Yep, I'm happy with that. And that Dollar Tree glue has set already, which is awesome. Okay, so we corrected that. That's good. And now we need to arrange our curtains and our volants. Now, I think I might want to go up there actually with that, or maybe not, I don't know. And there are my curtains, and I know that they need to, yeah, actually I will go to the top of that scallop with it. So if my voice is changing, it's because I'm sitting back down. Right, so I didn't want to fasten the curtain all of the way. I just wanted to meet it at the top, so whoever can lift the curtains up if they want to and have a peek underneath. because they're just pretty underneath. So I'm going to put this one on. So we've got a lot of humidity here because of the rain we've had over the past few days, and it plays absolute havoc. Let's pop that there with your sticky tape, and you can end up peeling away your paper rather than peeling away the top cover to reveal the stickiness. There we go. So there's the curtains and there's the clown scene, and I am of course going to need to stand up again so that I can do this, and I do want to get it dead up there and square like that. So I've got like a shadow under my valance, which is nice. I've got my circus thing going on there, and then I've got my sentiment which says awesome, and I'm thinking about popping that there. It needs to be in a position where you can still stand your card up, so I don't know whether I want that at the top or if I want it at the bottom or off to a side. And then I've also got the circ, and I don't know if I want to use that or not. And I do like that one. And I tried to cut the sentiment in kind of like similar colours. I think I'm going to use them both. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to peel off here, and as you can see, I put the foam tape in the areas that would allow me without any foam being on show, if you know what I mean, because some areas of the cutout would be difficult to get foam like into that little piece. So once again, standing up because I want to be straight and I want to be as centre as possible, and I'm going to go there. So I've got my little clown's head sticking up above that, so I'm okay with that. And then I haven't put anything on there, so I think I'm just going to tape this on, and I'm just going to pop some tape on the back of it. So going right down to the base of it there, into all of its little squiggles. Let's rip that off. And I should be able to do some measurements for you in a second. So I'm going to pop that in the centre too. Just going to have that there. And there is my Le Cirque card. Isn't that cool? I like that. Well, I like Graphic 45. Right, where's my ruler? So fully made up, that curtain background is 8 1/4 inches across, and its depth is 3 1/4 inches deep. So that's the panel that will fit onto one of these other slimline dies. If I get some light on it, you can see it's got that gorgeous stitched edge. But what an easy thing to do if you've got some pattern paper. I mean, as I said the other day, you know, sort of like a Christmas scene or anything that you can put behind there. You can put your Christmas tree, and then you could have all your little gifts and things stacked up in front. It's just really, really cool. This one is actually going to sit on my shelf, and I'm going to measure the awesome now that it's made. And that measures on its base layer 4 3/4 inches. Now I'm going to pause for a minute while I run off and I cut these out, because we've got to see what these look like. Back in a minute. Now then, I haven't poked these all the way out, and just to show you that they do poke out, so I've gone around those. I think I've got all of this one. I'm not going to poke them all, but look at that. Isn't that huge? Could you imagine making one of those giant red poppy flowers and having this as a stamen cut in black? And if you crisscross it and then pop the smaller one on top, Just look at the size of that. That is huge. And if you've got I haven't got a round ice. Oh yeah, I do. I've got my pokey tool. I was going to say, you could just go around and curl it and fluff it up and layer it. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. And do that chunk as well. And then you can just sort of like fluff them about where you want them. That is awesome. And it's so easy to hand cut giant petals. And that could be the centre of your flower. Could also be the centre of a sunflower. You know, you get that bit in the middle, and then you could just cut a darker circle and sit that in. Cut it in the same shade of brown, so you've got dimension in the middle of your sunflower. I think that's fabulous. And of course, you can also hang it up that way around and really do a curl on it. Look at that. You can cup it all the way up. So if you've got a large flower tool, balling tool, you can really get a good curve on that. I love that. That's really, really pretty. Anyway, that is what I have for you today for today's tutorial. And I hope you enjoyed my card and how I fixed that mistake. And we used, let me get them correct, we used the KLJUYP curtains and slimline base, along with the KSCRAFT words and the KSCRAFT frame. Now, while I'm also here, so that you know it, my easel die does fit slimline dies. So once you've made your project, you can also stand it up. And on that side, you would have to trim just the little notches off the ends, but it does fit the slimline dies. Okay, you have an awesome day. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to be back with tomorrow, but have an awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.